and welcome back to the Tabletop Tavern. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jenny. I will be your dungeon master for this week and also for the rest of time. I'm going to allow my lovely players to introduce themselves, including our fabulous guest player, but we're going to begin with the beautiful, the graceful, the talented Victoria Shaz.
Hi everyone, my name is Victoria and I play Leon LaBelle.
Hi, I'm Pippin and I play Ariadne and Kailte.
And I am Doe and I play Grist Littlefoot.
And I'm the Ally Sue, and I play Maxilla Osteoclast.
All right, and for those of you who weren't here last week, who are like, why is there a guest? What's going on? Here's a little recap for you. Last week, Leon LaBelle's fabulous mother, Leonida LaBelle, found out that she was getting married, oh my god, and insisted on throwing her daughter a wonderful engagement party. Everything went over pretty well, all things considered. The party was a rousing success. Leon had a verbal altercation with her new fiance's ex-wife, but you know what? Everything went down okay. Even Ariadne and Grist had some fun, despite it not really being their scene. After that, the party was headed to bed when Ariadne and Grist both received letters. Grist has revealed that Galen Wavefair had headed home, found out that his mother had passed, and left abruptly, leaving B. Bafkin heartbroken in his wake. Ariadne received a letter explaining that Maxilla's town was in dire straits, and Maxilla was looking for an adventuring party to help her save them using a mythical object known as Chauntea's Cornucopia. That is where we left off, with the party heading to bed in separate rooms, with the exception of Leon and Marius. Eyebrow wiggle. And brings us to the next morning. All of you have eaten breakfast. You're all sort of gathered around the entrance to LaBelle Manor with your various bags, parcels, traveling gear, whatnot. Marius and Leonida have gathered with you to kind of say goodbye as you determine the next steps for your journey.
Okay, Mama, I will write you.
Oh,
Don't
you better.
worry.
You better.
Don't worry. And Marius, make sure that you write me about what we were talking about last night.
I will, yes. I will be sure to.
Well, I guess,
yeah.
wherever we go, and Leon looks at Ari and Grist and is like, I think we need to find more information. We need to just find more information. Yes, Ari. Ari, I see you're making...
You're not wrong, but we might have a better priority. Maxilla's in trouble, and it's closer, so.
But Galen, who is a member of our adventuring crew, has disappeared and left B behind, and his mother died. We absolutely have to go see what's going on.
Actually, Grist, I do believe he was a member of our adventuring group. I don't tolerate people who don't choose to stick around. So...
His mother died, though, Leon.
But that doesn't seem like... You know what seems like a bigger problem? The gods going silent. Ari, first of all, when did you hear from Maxilla?
Last night.
Okay. What did Maxilla say?
And I was not about to, barge into y'all's room, so I waited till this morning.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Leon kind of looks at
remember how I
Marius.
told you... Yeah.
Marius looks very proud of himself.
I just looked between you both and I was like... And I go, so remember how back in the tomb I told you that they'd be fine as long as there was grain in the silo?
Right, and I
There's
found
not
that
much grain
paper
in the silo left.
saying that
Yeah.
people starved.
There's
Okay.
no grain left in the silo.
Yeah, and there's no
Okay.
longer that much grain in the silo, and so Maxilla's going to go find some kind of, a basket, a cornucopia. It was a C word. I'm not sure how you spell it.
Maybe a corn cob?
Maybe, yeah. But anyways, to help, it's a magical thing to help feed everyone.
Okay.
But she's kind of going alone, so she asked for help, and she said she'd be fine, but I think she should have help.
Is the
Because
silo
Travis
feeding...
is over
Marius,
here
have
running
you
the
heard
inn,
about a
and it
cornucopia?
can't very well take.
Well, I'm sorry. They didn't necessarily say it was a cornucopia. They said it was a C word. Now, I have heard of a C word, but I wouldn't say it in pleasant company.
Right. But a cornucopia, perhaps?
All right.
In your reading.
I mean, there's plenty of cornucopias. They're a symbol of plenty. Chauntea herself carries one with her in most depictions.
Oh.
And Leon kind of like
Then that
really
would make
quickly like
sense.
locks eyes with Marius and then is like, okay.
Marius is like blissfully unaware of why you looked at him for a moment and then makes a like, oh, face and gives you a wink.
Subtle.
Well, then that
so-
would make sense because then she can use it to like feed everyone. But would
Right.
it even? I hope it would work with her not like answering anyone, right?
Why would you feed everyone a basket when you could feed them corn cobs?
I mean,
I don't-
she is
I think
depicted with a
there's
lot
not
of
enough
corn,
corn
too.
cups for everyone.
Well,
Mhm.
don't the osteoclasts have corn on their farm?
Not right now.
Did the
It's all
osteoclast
dying,
silo
Chris,
feed all
remember?
of? But do they feed all of Viri Valley or just their family? With the
Maybe
silo?
not, but like as far as she said was that they could manage while they had the silo full, but it's not full anymore. And
We
so
need to go
whether
and
it's just
help.
for them or for the whole valley, I don't think she
Yeah.
should go at it alone.
No, you're right. Nobody should be without food.
So we're going to Viri Valley then.
I think we have to.
Okay, done. I don't disagree. Leon turns to Marius, kisses him, and says, send whatever you find to Viri Valley to the osteoclast farm.
All right, do I just write osteoclast farm, Viri Valley?
Yeah, they're the only orcs there. So,
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fun
I'm sure it's a great
upbringing.
time for them.
Yeah, all right. I mean, if push comes to shove,
I mean,
Travis
I'm
will
sure
know
it
where
was
to
a fun
send it.
Yeah,
so.
upbringing.
exactly.
Yeah. I look at Marius and I go, I mean, I'm sure it was a fun upbringing if they do the events like we were, like they did when we were there, because like they threw me from a gourd launcher. It was a great time.
That
So like
sounds like.
that was the childhood. Yeah.
Can you add
it was
that to the
great.
stag party list? I want to throw
No.
you from a
Ari?
gourd launcher.
No. Ari?
Ari's face
Leon?
like lights up, and I'm just like, yes, absolutely. I will get the I would get the engine, the blueprints.
Perfect. Thank you, Leon. It's not your stag party. It's my stag party.
I would like a spouse at the end of the stag party to still be alive.
Well, then we'll just
mean,
throw
he
Ari
said
on
throw
me.
Ari.
Ari's alive?
Also, I not to worry you too much, but I'm fairly sure that Travis could throw any of us. So at that point, you know, we don't even really need a gourd launcher, and you can't tell me not to invite Travis. We're friends.
No, this is true.
Right. But perhaps, actually, what if we just stop the conversation and pretend that it never occurred? Okay? No gourd launching. Ari, what gourd launching? Let's go.
We're gonna do
We're gonna,
What
and Leon
did
kind of
with
starts to like
Maxilla
push
that
them out the
Marius
door.
wants
We
to
need to
do,
go to Viri
right?
Valley. We're not talking about gourd launching with my
Before-
future husband.
Before they head
And,
out
like,
the door.
as Leon, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Go for it, Chris.
Oh, I was just gonna say, as Leon is like pushing us out the door, I just look back at Marius and I'm just like, yeah.
He shoots you 2 thumbs up.
Gris like tugs on the like bottom of like Marius's shirt on the way out, and she's like, "Do you think you could, I don't know, send a letter to B? Just let her know where we'll be." Oh, that's kind of weird. Just let her know that we're at the osteoclasts.
Yes.
I don't want her to be alone during all of this.
I will definitely send her a letter. I'll be sure to tell her that you're concerned. And I'll also ask to unsubscribe. I never subscribed. There was a period of time where I had a joke subscription from a friend, and now she just keeps sending me things.
I love them. I hang them on a wall in the cottage. Sometimes Reese will like tear
She's
out.
going through a breakup, and
It's
you're
okay,
gonna impact her
Marius.
income.
No.
Really?
I'm
You
not
can
paying for it. She just okay. All right.
We can afford it.
You're getting letters from who? What do the letters look like? Why don't you show them to me?
Mama, you're actually happier not seeing them.
I don't know. I'm
No, trust me on this one, Mama.
Okay, all right. So you're headed off. You're going to a farm. Ew, dirty.
Yeah, I know.
Be
I
sure
know.
to, wipe off your clothes and everything. Don't get the
I've
dirt.
got prestidigitation, Mama. Don't worry.
Wash your face, brush your hair, keep the dirt off your skin. It's bad for your skin. It'll age you.
I know.
Have you seen
I know.
those farmers? Their skin looks terrible.
Just looks down at her feet for a second, like.
All right. So before we offend everybody who feeds us, Mama, I love you.
Yeah.
Yes, I love you.
I love you
let's go.
too. I'm so happy you're finally getting married. Don't die
yes.
before you get married.
Wasn't planning on it.
And if you die before you get married, make sure you give me a grandchild, which you have 3 weeks. So don't die before you get married.
Okay. The math doesn't quite add up, Mama, but yeah.
She gives you a kiss on each cheek. Gives a kiss on each cheek to Gris, leaning down. And then Ariadne sort of like looks at you and is like, "May I kiss you?"
I mean, sure. I guess.
She kisses you on each cheek and gives you a little pat on the cheek and goes, "You're the next one I'm going to get married. You're gonna get married too. You're my next project." I don't have much time left, Ariadne. You are going to get married.
And I like
Leon casts message.
It's just like flitting between them.
Leon casts message and says, "Welcome to the Labelles. One of us now."
Yeah, but I don't know. I just like wanting to get out of it. I just return the kiss on the cheek. I'm just like, okay, goodbye. See you. Not soon. Maybe.
At the very least in 3
And then I
weeks.
just start. I'm just like, we've gotta go.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, I love you. Take care. Marius, Leon kisses you passionately and says, "Be careful.
I will be.
Don't do
So should
anything
you.
I wouldn't do. And don't do some things I would do."
You got
Yeah,
it.
you said you'd gourd lunch. I don't think you want Leon to gourd
Yeah.
lunch.
Well, I think it'd be funny. I'm sure you would keep her safe. Keep her safe. Make sure she doesn't do anything too stupid. And if she does do something too stupid, back her up.
Gris kind of like salutes
fair.
Marius.
And tell Maxilla I said hi. She doesn't know me, but we both know Travis. I don't know Travis the way she knows Travis in the, but I know, like, we're friends. I'm gonna
Marius, you get it.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I love you. Take care. Be careful.
Yes, I love you too.
Love you too, Marius.
Goodbye, Gris and
I do have a
Ariadne.
logistics question.
Mhm.
Is Vulture coming with us? Is Twig?
Absolutely, Twig is coming with us. And Gris kind of steps aside, and Twig is just
Okay,
standing
I'm
behind
just saying, it's, it's dangerous.
Gris,
he's
do you
a
really
baby.
want to bring the baby? My mom can take care of Twig.
Absolutely not. It shit all over my floor last night. I want that thing out of my house.
Okay.
Gris kind of like looks over at her with like a little bit of like, "How dare you yell at my child?"
She gives you a little wink, Gris.
Gris kind of like, the corner of her mouth kind of like turns up in a little smile, and she's like, "I mean, Twig's a baby. He needs his mom."
Oh God, fine.
And Gris just gestures.
that's
We'll
fair.
bring the fucking bird.
You won't even know he's here.
I already do. It's an ugly bird. You have to let me call it ugly.
Well,
Gris.
Marius was once an ugly.
Last we left off, y'all were bullying Marius.
Yeah. And Leon was trying to get everyone
I
to
wanted
stop.
to pipe up that I'm. Yeah, but I did want to pipe up because I first of all I said you were a very pretty bird.
I know.
Second of all,
Yes.
even in human form, even sick, your titties were nice.
Thank you, Ari. I wanted to make sure that wasn't a fever dream. Leon, nothing.
That
Nothing.
happened. I'm just affirming
I'm
your.
not worried.
Okay. I mean, I don't think I'm their type all around, but my tits are quite lovely.
I would agree.
Thank you.
We really do have to go.
All right.
Sorry if you're calling you an ugly bird, Marius. I just keep coming for you, huh? I don't know what's gotten into me.
You were
Maybe
going to
they-
let me
Chris,
die.
We need to go. We need to go. We need to go, Chris.
As Leon pushes her out the door, she's like, "Being a mother has changed me," and she dramatically scoops up Twig onto her shoulder, and then just kind of yells, "Bye, Marius."
Goodbye. Take care of her. Make sure she doesn't do anything too stupid. Keep her alive. I need her to be alive for the wedding. All right, goodbye. Mwah. Mwah. I love you all, but especially Leon.
I love you too, Mama. Once the door shuts, as they are walking down the stairs, I want Leon to say, so there is one thing that I want to tell you all that was brought to my attention last night.
Why does this not sound good, Leon?
And I wouldn't necessarily
No,
be bringing
that's not
up
your good news
up,
tone of voice.
if I wasn't concerned about where we were about to go.
And?
Well, I just so I'm
Just say it, Leon. It's another lie, obviously.
I mean, it's just not something that I've talked about yet.
Omissions of truth are still lies.
Not really in this
Yeah,
case. I just didn't have any opportunity to tell you. I may or may not have consumed another god.
The old man at Hetrasil's son's temple.
He said I had 3 souls.
What? Dare I ask? What god?
And how?
I don't know what god.
You ate a god and you don't know which.
Okay, so do you remember the necklace?
Oh, the necklace.
Corruption's necklace?
I still
Yes.
have the rest of the necklace, right? Jenny?
You ate.
Yes, I thought
I
you were
pulled
trying
it
to
out of my
confirm with
bag.
them.
Leon, the necklace that Mung literally sacrificed himself.
Yes, corruption gave it to me. And I
so
put
you
it back in my
decided
bag.
to
It
eat.
felt good, and my grandmama was dying, and Marius was dying, and I needed to find a way to save him, and this one felt good and motherly and healing and warm, and so I ate it. And then that's when I found the spell. So obviously I had to in order to save Marius.
Marius, the one with the warning?
So here's the thing. I told Marius last night, and his first response was, "Oh, well, that sounds like Chauntea."
I just don't think it's a good idea to have 2 gods' souls, spirits, power.
Primarily
not,
concerned
it's
that I
one now,
consumed Maxilla's goddess.
Are you
Yeah,
could be the reason why there's no food. You're the
Well, no, that's not my fault.
and whose is it?
It would be the fact that Chauntea fell and clearly died in order for me to be able to consume her power. But I don't even know if it's her. I just wanted to let you all know just in case.
Leon, just because something feels good and it feels warm, whatever else you said, doesn't mean you should do it. Like stepping on a pine cone.
The original voices in your head, your father talking
Yes.
to you, made you feel loved and warm
This
and
was
valued
different.
and appreciated.
This
And
was
how did that turn out?
Sorry, this was different. This was nothing like that.
You spent months telling us. No, this is fine. This is good. I know it's sounds scary, but it feels good.
It's like literally Ariadne, you probably know this. Sometimes stepping on a pine cone feels good, but that doesn't mean I should always step on pine cones.
On a pine cone never feels good, Gris.
Sometimes it does when you got like an itch and you just need a little. Sometimes it feels good, but I don't
We all
do
know
it all
that.
the
You
time.
don't step on a pine cone. I'm just like,
Besides the point.
I've
That's the
never
point.
intentionally stepped on a pine cone.
Well, you
in
don't
my
do it
entire
intentionally.
Very long life.
I don't even know if I've seen a pine cone.
You need to get out
Leo,
more.
Well,
roll a
that's- You're
d20.
sheltered.
Because, like, in a curated garden, would I have seen a fucking pine
Roll a
cone?
d20.
We've been on the road.
This is 17!
Okay, so you saw a pine cone for the first time in your life, like 6 months ago when you first went to the Sea of Trees.
I have seen a pine cone, but, like, only one.
You saw a bunch of them, but really only one was noticeable.
Right.
They're usually all together. There's no way you can just say one.
Anyways, that's not what this is about. I don't know if it was Chauntea. It's just that's what Marius mentioned. He's going to be sending me any materials that he finds to the osteoclast farm, but I wanted you all to know before we get there because, like, what if it was Chauntea?
You think then there's going to be like an awakening when you get to Viri Valley?
Or to the
I don't
Cornucopia.
know. Maybe you can fix it then when we get there.
Yeah,
You know,
Well, yeah, that's not a bad plan.
that
actually.
is the best possible solution for this because you can't uneat a god. So
It's just so
I guess-
weird because when I consumed Tafine,
Thank
I
you,
immediately could see people's strings. But when I consumed this other soul, I haven't found anything. So there has to be a way to awaken that ability. And maybe that's at the Cornucopia. So maybe by helping Maxilla, we're also going to help me figure out what I consumed. And maybe it wasn't Chauntea, but this is a good way for us to find out.
just don't
I'd almost rather it was, you know, at least it's more or less not evil in general. So
Right.
I'd rather hope it is. But I must insist.
Mhm.
And I look to Gris and I look at Leon and I look at Gris and I look at Leon. Do not eat any more gods.
None of them has.
Without
None of them kind of
talking
spoke
to
to
us
me.
first. I
No,
don't
no,
know.
Even if they do speak to you, Leon. No.
Listen,
Yeah.
it took me
no,
a month and a half to decide on this one. I thought very long and very hard about this. This was not an impulsive decision like
Next time you make a decision, ask your friends.
I didn't need to ask you both, however much I love you. My grandmother was dying. She was on her deathbed, and Marius was dying.
As you continue this conversation, Leon...
I feel like we're heading to find a carriage while we're
Leon
having this.
hails a carriage, and you all sort of get in, still arguing with each other. Like, this is an argument occurring in the back of a merchant's wagon. He's been kind enough to give you a ride, and you are all just kind of like quasi-yelling at each other in the back seat. There's a vulture like sitting on the roof, poking its head through the window to squawk at you every once in a while. The merchant actually is moving at maybe the fastest pace you've seen yet to travel to the osteoclast farm, presumably because they want you the hell out of their lives.
Checks out.
Yeah. We're getting a 1-star rating on Carriage Uber.
Yes, exactly. Coober.
Sick. So I feel like we would arrive at the osteoclast farm, and as we get off of the carriage, Leon would look to Ari and Gris and be like, do not mention this until I bring it up.
Fine.
I'm trusting you with this. We can't. I will tell Maxilla.
No, that goes both ways, right?
Yes.
Just making sure.
So we're trusting you not to eat any more pearls, and we'll keep your secrets.
I'm telling you, none of them are calling to me. It's not that I'm even going to keep it a secret from Maxilla. What if it's not? What if it's not even relevant and it doesn't end up being Chauntea? I don't want to startle Maxilla and think and like be like, hey Maxilla, by the way, think I ate your goddess, and then it ends up being nothing.
Okay, but also, what if like Ariadne or myself held on to the pearls?
No.
No.
I'm
telling everyone you ate Chauntea. Oh, and Tafine.
Okay, so we're just gonna throw that at Maxilla before we even. Do we really think that's strategically the right move?
No,
we'll give her a hug and then say hello, and then.
Or how about we wait until we get to the Cornucopia and see whether anything happens, and then I
do agree with Leon. I'm not saying that we have to tell everyone, or even until it's relevant.
Right.
But I do think you need to tell us.
Yes.
Not even in the least, because we head into dangerous situations on the regular.
Okay, so with that, there is one other thing.
I turn around. I take a deep breath. And I hold up my finger just just give me a moment.
This one's nothing big. It's not. It's
and I turn back and I'm like.
And Leon dissipates the glamour.
How long, Leon? How long? How long? All of this. How long?
Well, I mean, it changes.
It changes? For how long? How long has it changed? How long was it in one way? How long was it the next way?
Well, okay, so after I ate tofine, my blood started sparkling.
Sparkling?
Like a little gold.
Like golden blood for golden causes?
Yes. And then when I consumed the soul of the other god, I started getting this rash. And then after I did the spell, this situation happened. And then Leon does the glamour again and is like, but like, that's it.
Leon,
I'm fine.
That's it.
give
it's fine.
Ariadne the pearls, please.
We need to go.
I understand, but I am not going anywhere.
I'm not digging
someone
through my
other
head.
than you.
Can I get a perception check from all of
Yeah.
you? Leon and Gris, you're rolling with disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
You are currently standing underneath the sign that labels the Linked Heart Ranch, the official name of the Osteoclass farm, arguing
That was-
with each other.
An 11 for me.
Okay,
Yo,
Leon.
I got nat 20s both times. 23. The universe said
I
you may have
have-
this.
Nice. That's 11 plus 8, 19.
The way your perception is 8.
So,
Wow.
I know.
Leon, you have your back to the farmhouse. You're sort of arguing with Gris. Gris peers around you, as does Ariadne, to look behind you. Gris and Ari on the porch of the Osteoclass farm. You can see Maxilla. She's got her hammer strapped to her back. She's got a satchel over one shoulder, and she's giving her mother a large hug. They appear to be saying goodbye. As you notice these two in an embrace, Maxilla notices you from quite a distance. You're probably 50 meters away.
Chris just finally like holds up her
when
hands
Yeah.
and is like, whatever,
I
Leon.
give a big wave.
We'll talk about
Turns
this later.
around and starts walking towards Maxilla.
Yeah.
Maxilla!
Maxilla has turned away from her mom, and has kind of like, you can like her shoulders like I think relax a little bit, and she's kind of jogging forward, and she's like, "Oh, thanks, Chauntea. I'm hoping that y'all are here to come with me. I was just about to leave. We could almost miss each other." Like running up to him.
Just a personal character note. Leon does break into a momentary stress sweat when she hears Shanti. She doesn't know, but she's a little stressy. And
Oh.
Leon goes, "Of
I go,
course we were
"Yeah."
here."
Oh well, I'm so thank
Ari
goodness,
got your
'cause-
letter.
Oh, I was
Yes,
worried it
I'm
wasn't
very
gonna
glad
make
we
it in
made it in
time.
time.
Ugh,
No,
No.
It did. I'm glad. I'm.
It could have
Yeah,
been like ships passing.
We weren't very well gonna let you go alone.
Mm-mm.
Even if we did, and Travis found out, were like, "What do
Yeah.
you think? He would never serve me again."
It wouldn't go very well.
Oh,
He's
well, I
also
know
very
y'all
good
didn't
friends
do-
with my fiance, and that probably wouldn't go very well at this point.
Also,
Well-
Leon's fiance says hi.
Hi.
Marius, you missed the part where we're fiancés now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a bit of a whirlwind of a few days.
Poor Maxilla
How are
cannot
you?
get an word in edgewise.
No, we're all like overwhelming poor Maxilla. Like, are you okay? How are things going?
I will remind you, we're all overwhelming Maxilla looking up at
Yeah,
Maxilla.
really.
Yeah. Hello.
Well, things have been better.
Yeah.
We've been trying to feed everybody, but we're kind of on our last straw here, and this trip seems to be kind of a last hurrah, kind of a last ditch effort to try to fix things here, because we had a drought a couple years ago that wiped us out, and we kind of had to start rationing years back, but I ain't never seen nothing like this before. We've never been this low. I've never been so worried about feeding everybody, especially the siblings. They're still growing, and
Mhm.
I don't want to see them go hungry. So I want to try to fix. I'm relying on this to fix it.
So where are we going? How will it help?
I'm relying kind of on uh, a thing I found in the temple here in town for Chauntea. It's this well, it's kind of a children's story more than anything. So again, this is kind of a last ditch effort.
Right.
But it's a story about
When it comes to children's stories and like lullabies, we're like we hit the mark quite often. So,
They're more often than
I
not
can
true.
believe that.
all right.
Yeah.
I guess I gotta come from somewhere, hey?
hmm
So it's this cornucopia, which it's one of Chauntea's things. She's got a rose, she's got, wheat and
Corn
tilled
pod.
soil and yeah, I guess vegetables. uh but she's also but the thing that one of her big symbols is the cornucopia, and this story talks about how this cornucopia can bring in a bountiful harvest. It can feed its plenty. It will ever pour, and somebody's got to be able to harness that power, apparently. And I'm not much of a magic user, so I was going to try to find it and maybe try to find people in town. Again, like, we're kind of just grasping at straws, but I figured it's the best chance we got. So it's
Fair enough.
yeah. So I'm having
To start.
yeah. So it's something.
At
So
least
we're
you
heading.
got some magic users here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rely on other people to know magic. That's never called to me.
I'm quite good at it.
Mhm.
But it's apparently in the
I
Dwarven
just
Mountains.
do Leona look, just like
She does magic.
Exactly. So about how far is this cornucopia away? Do you know where it is?
The Dwarven Mountains. I took a little trip there a little while ago for a different reason. So it's the mountain range that's just a little bit north of here. It's a couple days journey.
Okay.
Okay. Couple days, huh?
I mean, you know this way. We're
I
here to
guess we
help.
best
Yeah, I'm trying
Yeah.
to get there as quick as I can for the whole
then
thing.
lead the way. Our legs
Yeah.
are a bit shorter, but we'll follow.
All right. And then Maxilla does one more wave to her ma.
Your ma
Leon
stands
also
on the
waves.
porch and cups her hand around her mouth and goes, "Now you be careful, all right? Don't go too far north.
I wave back to Cordia.
Be careful. Look out for angry dwarves. They're not much big on the orcs, so maybe have the little one lead everything. All right, I love you.
Love you, ma.
You take
then-
care of baby."
You think I could
Mhm.
pass for a dwarf?
You
No,
do
I
look like
just
a baby
think
dwarf.
you're probably like the most approachable one.
Oh.
Eye level type of situation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Who doesn't
Mhm.
love a baby vulture too?
Yeah.
She's
As a
she
vulture.
pets-
Right.
she
I
pets
do
quick.
as we turn and maybe start walking. I do like tap Maxilla on the shoulder, and I go, "So what is a cornucopia? Is it like a corn cob? Like Gris and I were wondering."
Kind of looks like a cone that
Oh.
someone got that melted in the sun a little bit.
Oh my god.
And
Don't fucking kill me.
The low end squad is now a trio.
it's usually like woven with like fibers, something. Usually we have it for a centerpiece
Okay.
and fall.
Huh.
Okay, so you don't eat it. You eat what's inside it.
Yeah, it will have usually during
Okay,
fall
just
put like
making
squash
sure,
and
you
stuff
know.
in it.
But if it's
Okay,
if
okay,
it's a
I think
melted
I get it.
cone, that doesn't seem like a very good basket. Like there's
It's-
other baskets
It's
that could,
not actually melted, Gris.
but still the shape doesn't make any sense. That's all I'm saying.
It's supposed to hold, like
Oh, you know what it looks like? It looks like a horn. It looks like a cattle horn if it got broken off.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. Let's go.
gotta say, it's a lot of
Mhm.
references I don't understand. And Leon just starts to follow
God.
Maxilla.
Oh, you're not down home real fantasy Kansas, Leon.
No, we just realized apparently the first time she saw a pine cone was less than a year ago.
Why would I see a pine cone in Alis?
Trees? Pine
Right.
trees?
get
No.
dirt on your
Remember where
nails.
I grew up? Okay. Why would there be pine cones strewn everywhere? You think they won't clean those up? Of course they clean those up. I've never seen a
Surely
pine
you
cone in
could
my
have
life.
seen one full before somebody cleaned it up.
You got no trees?
Illustration of
No,
one.
we have trees. They're just very well taken care for.
Pine cones are like their seeds, Leon.
Yeah, but we don't need wayward trees. We have planned trees.
What do your squirrels eat?
Anyways,
We
I
don't
guess
have
she's
squirrels.
never stepped on a pine cone before, Maxilla. Can you believe it?
Ah, shoot. You're missing out. It's a good foot massage.
Leon looks at Ari.
Mm,
Thank you, Maxilla.
mhm.
Everybody was judging me earlier.
I like to use them as a massage at the end of the day after walking the fields for hours. Nice.
As a massage.
Yeah.
All right,
they
we
just
really
get
need
it.
to go.
We are going. We're walking.
You guys
Good.
are walking down the road,
Yeah.
talking about the merits of pine cone massages.
You know,
Yeah.
this is
You
going to be a
never-
long day walk. We're definitely going to need a pine cone massage after this.
I know you never get that deep itch in like the arch of your foot, and the only thing that can get it out is a good pine cone rubbing.
I hear you. I hear you.
I need you both to understand that if you touch me with a pine cone, I will set the forest on fire.
You know,
Don't
sometimes they
knock it till
fall
you
from
try
the trees.
Acupuncture with pine needles? Like, I don't understand.
I've never
Just
done
use
that.
your hands.
No.
Either.
Let's not start.
Like,
Roll 'em.
that was not. I want to preface that was not a suggestion, Chris.
Well, I have used pine cones before when Reese was like sleeping and we were younger. I kind of sneak up and I'd tickle him in the nose with the pine needles, and they get all in his nose. Achoo! So funny.
He has allergies.
Oh, I
Well,
forgot
it's
that.
also kind of weird to have like a little something in your nose hole, but
Gotta say, no one's done that to me. Don't want to start the trend. Again, we'll set the forest on fire.
noted.
Mm.
Yeah. Just as an awareness piece.
Please don't. We're already so dry in the
No,
valley
don't
right
do
now.
that.
I'm not actually
Yeah.
gonna do it, Maxilla. I realized the last time we adventured was a very long time ago.
It's been a hot minute.
I just kind of joke about setting things on fire now. I rarely actually do it.
Oh, what's changed since then?
Yeah, that's okay.
It's just like she did set a tomb on fire. I kind of
You know
was
what? I think I don't need to know.
Damn. All right. So Maxilla, in an uncharacteristic show of coldness, kind of shuts down that story. And
Maxilla was like, I don't want to hear about temple desecration, okay?
you all make it about 3 or 4 miles on foot, and you stop for a quick rest. Gris pulls out a couple of scones she stole from breakfast, as she is wont to do, sort of passes it around.
Every time, Gris.
we don't have these in Dreamer's Grove. I'm always so excited. You guys have the best, well, the only scones I've ever had, and they're very good. You just pile them.
You should ask Bertram to wrap them up for you, and then they'll stay fresh. He's good at that stuff.
Wrap them in what, leaves?
Whatever his magic stuff is.
Well, I just stick them in. They're fine.
Anyways, you were saying, Jenny?
All right. Without the use of magic saran wrap, these are a little bit stale. You're sort of all gumming on these scones, really wishing that maybe, even leaves would have helped kind of keep them fresh, as Gris demonstrated. As you stand there and sort of take a short rest here, a man passes by. He's got several mules, probably 4, attached to a large wagon, and he stops and seems to recognize Maxilla. Maxilla, in a swift moment, you recognize this as your sort of neighbor Jebediah. There's quite a bit of space between your farm and his. You've had a couple run-ins with him before. In the past, he wasn't too friendly with y'all. He wasn't a huge fan of orcs, but over time, he's really come to appreciate you. You did sort of help him out with a fairly major pest problem a few years back, and since then he's been on pretty friendly terms with your family. Well, if it ain't Maxilla Osteoclast, what you doing out here with a couple of elves and a halfling?
Well, hey Jeb, haven't seen you in a couple months, but yeah, we're headed out for another adventure. We're trying to handle the grain problem. I think we might have a lead on that. So called up some of my adventuring boys. We're checking that out.
Well, I heard something about that from your bar. They said something about how the grain stores were. Now I gotta say, we do appreciate y'all working so hard to keep the town fed. Our stores ran out quite some time ago, and the missus has been walking over, and your little sister, the shy one, she's been helping out getting us grain. So I do appreciate that. Whereabouts you heading? Where are you looking for whatever it is you're doing?
Well, Jib, if you're heading that way, we might ask you for a ride, but we're headed out towards the Dwarven Mountains up north.
Well, shucks, I got some business up in the capital there. Why don't you climb in the back and we'll give these mules a ride for their money.
Oh, shit.
Leon says under her breath. And starts to just get in. Like, thank you so much.
Jeb, I really appreciate it. I know it's gonna a little bit more weight on the wagon there, but I appreciate the helping hand.
Shucks, it ain't nothing. Now watch out, there might be some ticks in them there hay, lady.
What?
Ticks in them there hay.
Check your ankles.
Leon steps away.
Oh, shucks, ticks ain't nothing to worry about. Maxilla will pull them off for you real good. Any country girl worth her salt knows how to do that.
Well, good country girl knows how to spot them before they bite.
That's very true, but your companion here doesn't seem much for the farming lifestyle.
Not.
I'll make sure to check Leon's text, and then I wink at her, and she won't know what I'm doing.
Chris just kind of like slowly tries to climb in and like tries to do it herself. Jump up
Leon
there.
very gingerly sits down. I want to make very clear, Leon is worried for nothing. She's wearing thigh-high boots. Okay?
Yeah.
She doesn't understand that a tick can't bite her through boots. She doesn't get it.
Nobody's gonna tell
I
her.
make a little. Seeing Gris try and get up on her own, I make like a little boost, like a step with my hands crisscrossed.
Chris goes,
I'm
"Oh,
like, just
thank you," and she hops up, and then she like pats the like edge, trying to get Twig to hop up too.
Twig actually like flaps up using his wings, kind of getting a couple feet off the ground, and lands next to you before burrowing his head in the hay bale that you're seated on, and
oh my god,
pulls it away with something in his mouth, which he crunches down on happily.
I hate
It's
that
like-
bird.
Chris is like, "Oh, no, you can't hate him. He's getting rid of the ticks for you, so you'll be fine." But look how high he flew. Oh, going so fast.
God.
Yeah, he seems to be a new addition to the party.
I don't want to talk about it.
We found him in a temple. He was alone.
Well, ain't he a pretty bird?
Oh no.
Scratches his cheek.
He like rubs his head against your hand and gives you like a little like eye bat.
Oh.
Oh, it seems he's taking a liking to you, Maxilla. Makes sense. All of you osteoclasts have a pretty good way with animals.
We do have a certain skill for animal handling.
I'm not sure that's true. I seen that brother of yours chase 3 cows down with a whipping stick and then trap them together with some rope, and it seemed like he was just doing it for fun.
Yeah, Ingus ain't the most patient one in the bunch, but
Leon leans over to Ari and is like, I didn't understand any of that sentence. None of it.
were you listening?
Yeah.
Then I don't know what your I don't know what your problem is.
Now listen here, lady. We around here speak the common tongue. I don't know if you're familiar. It is,
Sure.
in fact, kind of the lingua franca of this region here. I don't know much.
Sir? Yes, so do I.
Well, then I don't know why you can't, listen to me when I talk like this.
No,
oh, damn. City slickers. They don't know what they're talking
I'm
about.
from
City,
A-list.
city. Well, that's the real city. Well, hold on, and he like kind of gives one of the mules a little slap in the rump, and the cart starts to trundle forward, and he takes a seat kind of in the driver's seat and looks back at you and goes, "Now, I don't know much about the fancy words that you use around the parts in A-list, but I do got a question for y'all.
Okay.
Any of you speak Dwarvish?"
No, but if I if
I
I
can't speak it, but I can understand it.
yeah, if I touch someone who speaks Dwarvish, I can speak to them and understand them. I do magic.
Yeah. I can understand them and they can understand me. What I'm actually saying is not my concern.
Able to read apparently some Dwarvish because it's very similar to Orcish, but that's because we stole their alphabet.
Well, I didn't
I
know that the orcs had a written language. That's actually quite interesting. Teaches me a lot about my own personal stereotypes and biases.
The more you know.
I've been working real hard to unlearn them personally. I've figured out that, a lot of my thoughts about people who I look a little bit different from me are based on preconceived notions. Due to my
I
own
think that's really
upbringing.
amazing.
Oh, thank you, but I don't deserve to be praised for it. It really should be the basic for everybody.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right, hang up. Let me just, and he, gives one of the mules another slap, and they start, moving very quickly. And he goes, now you said you do magic?
I do.
Well, I can do some magic too. You ever heard of a familiar?
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Chris gets excited at the sound of this.
Well, meet mine, Bessie, Bessie 2, Bessie 3, and Anastasia.
Oh, why Anastasia?
Yeah.
Named after my first daughter.
And Bessie?
Named after my second daughter.
Do you only have 2 daughters?
No, I got 4.
Oh, the
Do you
other-
have 3 daughters
And
named
the other
Bessie?
3 named Bessie.
Well, sure, that was my mother's name. I think it's quite lovely.
So their first names are all Bessie, or is it like?
Great name.
Well, their first name's all Elizabeth, but they all go by Bessie.
Oh, okay. That makes
That
sense.
sounds pretty confusing, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, maybe it's not how you would do it up in the city in Alis, but around these parts, it ain't exactly unheard of. Hell, she got 3 sisters named Stapies, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, there's definitely one.
I mean,
There is definitely one.
It feels like they're just everywhere at once. There's gotta be at least 6 of them, right?
no, and she's the only one that's got a name with an S in it.
Well, you
I mean,
learn something.
people sometimes call me Malius or Malius Maxilla, but we've never really mixed
Oh.
up Stapes and Incas.
Speaking of Malleus, I would like you and Malleus to come to the wedding.
I'll pencil you in.
Oh,
Great.
You's getting married?
You'll get an invite.
You're
I'm
getting
getting
married?
married, yes.
Well,
yes.
Do you have any fun plans for the wedding? Around these parts, we got a tradition for after the wedding.
What is the
Jeb,
tradition?
they don't need to know about the tradition.
I think we do.
You don't want to
No.
provide them with a strong cultural education around these parts?
I would like that, actually. I would really like that. It'll help me learn to not be such a city slicker, I think. And Leon is just looking at Maxilla.
Chris is kind of staring at Ariadne, is this going where I think it's going?
So around these parts, we worship the goddess Chauntea. You ever heard of her?
I have.
Yeah, so she's the goddess of fertility and the harvest and whatnot. And well,
Maxilla's
Maxilla,
staring at her lap. She's just like,
Maxilla, do you want to explain this? Is that easier for you?
yeah, you know what, Jeb? I think I'll take over. I think I'd rather have control of this narrative.
Don't kill me.
So yeah, we got our typical wedding traditions, and we got the whole whatever. It usually, things are pretty casual. We usually just hang out in the forest. We usually have a celebration, a family dinner, pretty casual stuff. But one of the things is because Chauntea is the goddess of fertility and the harvest. Typically,
I think I know what's coming.
traditional is that you for a fertile marriage or a
You have your first
prospering marriage,
situation in the
first
field?
night in a freshly tilled field.
Oh, it has to be freshly
It has to
tilled.
be freshly
That's fun and fresh.
Yeah.
Why
Love
freshly
it.
tilled? Why not freshly fertilized?
I think we're doing the fertilized.
Yeah.
In this
Oh.
Yeah. I love that for you, Maxilla. I really do.
I told Travis here, I don't know how to break it. It's kind of a weird one.
Traditions are important.
Mhm.
Yeah. You could always get married in Alis. and then you wouldn't have to do it. I feel like that's not something you're gonna do.
Leon,
I feel like you have to. I know.
It's
I
not the
know.
culture.
I'm
I
just
got it.
saying it's an option.
Yeah.
Push comes to shove.
We
Yeah,
have a-
but my whole family's here. I'd rather have everybody just here.
I
My friends and
understand. And honestly,
easier.
I could not imagine getting married anywhere but A-list because of that reason, but I want you to know if you change your mind,
Mm.
it's available to you.
Well,
Is it your field? Whose field is it?
Well, it typically would be the
Do we need to
field
know
that
the
you're
details,
getting
Chris?
married.
I'm
It, like
Curious.
the farm that you would probably start your life on is where the tilled farm.
Okay.
That's really symbolic. I actually really like that tradition.
It's real sweet, and like I appreciate like some of it. It's just real embarrassing. I've never had a relationship before, so I never had to think about it for myself.
Well, I'd just be embarrassed somebody would walk by.
It was
I
a
know.
very abstract, conceptual thing
Yeah.
before.
It was always like somebody else's problem, you know? And now I have to deal with it.
You know,
and I have
Chris-
to have my brother stare at me every single time Travis comes over. And I hate it. It's so and he's at that age right now where he won't stop talking about like freshly tilled fields, and he's trying to get under my skin.
Uh-huh.
And I
Well,
love
here's
it.
the thing, though,
He does to wrangle
Maxilla.
him.
What if Travis is like into that?
Tilling fields.
He's sweet. I don't think he's much for the rural life, but
No, I just mean the
Well, honey, I think what
being
she's
an
trying to say
exhibitionist.
is, there's some people who enjoy making love out in the outdoors.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you wouldn't know anything about that before Chauntea's blessed you with marriage, would you, Maxilla?
no. No, I've never lain.
Why would it
I mean,
matter?
I can certainly say that I have. I'm not one to hold out.
Sylvanas probably doesn't care at all.
Well, they each their
I know
own,
Sune
suppose.
doesn't.
Let's,
Yeah, for the next 5 seconds, you're not my neighbor. Fuck.
well, okay
Does
then. Maybe I should.
being engaged count, or is that also a no?
Wait, what?
Not engaged,
Does
absolutely.
being engaged count?
You know what? I'm gonna withdraw myself from this conversation. And he
Great
starts
idea.
to like whistle something that sounds like it's to the tune of like do 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 do, and it just keeps looping as he whistles and sort of leaves you all to your own devices.
So-
Yeah, no, Travis doesn't mind being outside for interactions. Anyway, next
I didn't think
topic.
so. Let's
You
switch
are-
topics. What is the place that we're looking for? What does it look like?
It's okay. So from this topic, now that we're on the road, I can try to, I was in a little bit of a rush just because I was trying to just
I
give
get
you
it.
all the rundown. But we're going to the dwarven capital first,
Right.
And this bedtime story has it that it's the Cornucopia is somewhere in a mine or a cave behind the capital.
Okay.
Kind of, I have a map, but it's kind of vague and like it's not exactly proportioned correctly. But better than to have a map than
Better
just
than nothing.
yeah, better than nothing. So that's as much as I
I
got.
feel like this country could use with a lot better cartographers.
It is a children's book. We probably could. I mean, there might be better maps out there.
Well, to be fair, map making is quite difficult. In defense of whoever made the map for this world, maybe it sort of got formed over time, formatively. They had to go out and discover things, think about it real hard. Maybe they had to draw it out one way first and then have somebody else transcribe it because they ain't too good at I'm just putting it. I'm gonna go back to driving the horses now. Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony.
So as everybody is conversing and as we're traveling, Leon is worried about the grain, and so she would like to examine Maxilla's strings.
Okay, roll insight.
Your fate strings.
I consumed Tafine's soul, and now I can see the strings of fate on everybody.
She eats every god she meets.
It's not true. I didn't meet one of them, and I still consumed
Not true.
22, 16 plus 6.
Damn, alright, so you take a good look at Maxilla. Leon, You've seen a lot of strings in your time. You've seen some fragile strings. You've seen some broken strings. You've seen strings of all shapes and sizes. You've never seen a string quite like this. Maxilla's string is less of a fate string and more of just like a very sturdy rope. Like you could tie this thing to like a boat anchor and it would not budge, all right? And it's really long. It extends so far you can't see it. It's very secure in where it is. Honestly, it straight up looks like a dock rope.
Leon immediately feels better. And she just kind of like starts to observe, not really like trying to participate too much in the conversation because there's a lot going on.
So
once we
go for
get,
it.
Oh, I was gonna say. So once we get to the dwarven capital, what is our plan for communing with the dwarves? Are we gonna let Leon and Ari do that?
I'm gonna politely ask to touch one of them, and then
How
we'll
can
all
you
be able
do
to
that?
You don't have to do that.
But we can all talk to them if I do that.
I could also maybe just talk to an animal.
Wouldn't it be easier for me to touch one dwarf?
Yeah,
Chris,
just go.
Roll.
How about I ask?
Yeah.
For permission.
Or actually, Ariadne. Roll in just a flat int check.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Or actually a history check. Let's have a
7.
history check.
History?
Yeah.
Okay. I have Tug of Sun and Moon. That's why I'm saying I can understand.
Yeah.
History. I mean, that's the same modifier, but let's go. 13.
13. All right. You can recall from your schooling in the monkhood that during the languages section, which, to be fair, you weren't really paying that much attention to. Everything important was written in Elvish or Common or Sylvan, which you knew yourself. You didn't have to
It really is.
So you weren't paying that much attention. But at one point they got into the linguistic anthropology of the world. And you seem to recall that spoken Dwarven and spoken Halfling are nearly identical. It's really the written stuff that you have to be careful about.
Awesome. Then I like put both my hands down to the cart and I'm like, wait!
Oh,
I remembered
okay.
something. Chris can talk to them, which is a better idea than any of us trying to.
Ari,
I don't know Dwarvish though.
But you know Halfling. You're a Halfling. You know Halfling, right?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Well, then you can speak. And it's pretty much the same thing. I'm sure you'll understand each other.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, they're like really similar. I mean, you might miss a word or two, but like, I think you'll get it. It's really the written, like it's bad when they have good handwriting, but like, I don't think you'll have to worry about the speaking, which I think is a good idea considering, I think you're the most approachable one.
That's very kind of you to say.
Leon is just looking at everyone bewildered, and then looks at Ari and goes, "Did you just remember something from your studies?"
I did go to a lot of studies, Leon.
Ari, I think that's the first time that's happened.
It's not the first time.
It's
I will
one of
admit I
them.
did not pay very much attention.
No, I'm really excited. This is a good thing.
Okay.
It's great.
I mean, that was one fact. I cannot guarantee. You should not rely on my memory.
No, I'm just very excited about this.
Anything really. Okay.
Well, what other facts do you remember?
Roll a d4.
Do I remember any other fun facts?
Roll a d4.
Okay. That's 2.
You remember that people who worship Chauntea, when they get married, they then have sex in a freshly tilled field.
Lol.
Then I go, I mean, and I like think for a second, I'm trying to remember things, and I'm like, I mean, the only other thing I kind of remembered we just went over, and I like point a thumb at Maxilla, so I'm like, so it's not like that's new information.
So the moment of clarity has been and gone, is what I'm understanding here.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
mean, what did you expect? Like, it's not a sustained effort type thing.
Okay. Yeah,
You remembered something very important, so I'll take it. I've never met a dwarf before, so I'm excited.
You
yeah,
all
you're sharp.
You all sort of trundle along. The journey takes 2 days' time. You stop to rest overnight. Let me just quickly roll something. Leon, you offer to stay up and keep watch, so I hope you weren't looking for any spell slots or anything. The rest of you get a long rest. I don't think you've really done anything important since your last long rest.
Actually, Maxilla did like 20 strike checks just for fun. Actually, well, that doesn't even cost anything. She hit a tree 20 times.
Did a lot of beast bonding with Twig, so speak for yourself.
Yeah.
The next day you awaken very early, farmer hours. Those of you who are not used to waking up as early sort of snooze in the back of the wagon. Maxilla and Ariadne make casual conversation since Ari doesn't sleep and Maxilla's used to the up at the crack of dawn attitude. You arrive in the mountains. You pass through a brief section of the Sea of Trees, but it's not one with which you are familiar. It's got a large, wide road that runs just straight through it. And at the base of the mountains sits the dwarven capital. It's a hustling, bustling city. The buildings very much resemble those in Alis, but are quite a bit smaller, sort of sized down, presumably for smaller folk. All kinds of dwarves surround you. Many are toting crafted items like large weapons, fanciful jewelry, and silver goods. There's quite a few stores around you. A tavern is visible. There's a large fountain in the center that features a woman, a dwarven woman, naked. One hand protects her lower modesty, and a large beard covers up both of her breasts.
Yes, queen, go off.
She is sort of spitting water out of her mouth, and the water is not frozen, despite it being much colder here than it was back at the Osteoclast farm. A little bit of snow sort of drifts through the air. Are any among you immune to cold?
No.
Probably not.
You're chilly.
But my mama got me a jacket.
Okay, Maxilla, your mom did pack you a jacket. You have a jacket on.
No, I have a sweater with an M on it. Thank you.
Yes, the M sweater, of course. So Maxilla is wearing a sort of dusky pink sweater with a large purple M knitted on the front.
Oh,
I love
beautiful.
it. Gris takes the hood from her cape from Raphael and just throws it over her head and then kind of like grabs the tails and like wraps it around like you'd wrap like a blanket and she kind of burritos for a second and she's like, so how do we decide who to talk to? Should I just talk to anybody? Should we go to the bar? Should I
Has Leon ever been here? With the labels? Like the label business?
It's very uncommon for people to go to the Dwarven Mountains. The dwarves have sort of a... Hang on. Everyone roll a history check.
Okay.
DC 16.
I have to find history.
Oh, God bless, I have a good history modifier.
20, 22.
22?
That's a 3.
That 20.
3. What did you get, Leon?
19.
Okay, so we're gonna start with Ariadne. Ariadne, people don't go see the dwarves because the dwarves are boring. Wait, no, the dwarves like to party. You're not really sure why people don't see the dwarves. You think it might have had something to do with a war. It's really complicated. Maxilla, everything you know about the dwarves comes from the perspective of your mother. Most of the things you know about dwarven society come from the perspective of an outsider. Orcs stage larger raids on some of the more aggressive dwarves. There's a lot of conflict there. Leon and Gris, both of you are relatively familiar with kind of the history of the world. Gris, you've done a lot of reading. Your husband's quite a bookworm. Leon, you do quite a bit of reading yourself, but also you had a lot of private tutors. You had a very, very solid education. Both of you know that the reason why people do not come to the Dwarven capital, at least humans and elves do not go to the Dwarven capital, have to do with the Great War over Kralin over 500 years ago. Around the time that the Gilded Sorcerer betrayed the elves, the dwarves were quote-unquote neutral in the war. They refused to fight for either side, claimed neutrality. However, they were commissioned by the Human King to supply quite a few 100,000 weapons for the war itself. The elves viewed it as a slight against themselves, and the humans viewed the non-participation of the dwarves as betrayal in and of itself. The elves would have been fine with neutrality, they claim, but the act of supplying weapons was, in essence, assisting the human war effort. This has led to a lot of tension between the dwarves and elves, and humans sort of overstepping their bounds, assuming that they have a relationship with the dwarven military that they do not. The dwarves also are just not really huge on strangers. It's kind of hard to get here. There's a lot of driving through the countryside, and they do a lot of exporting most of their largely mass-produced items, like swords, clubs, everything like that can be shipped out fairly easily.
Are they pro or anti-Gilded Sorcerer?
They presumably don't really like him. They were not really in favor of the war at all.
Okay. So Leon looks to Gris and says, maybe a tavern owner? That might be our best bet, a bartender. We really need to tread lightly here, though. And Leon kind of like shakes her hair over her ears. Not that it's gonna help, because she half human, half elf. That's all bad.
She's also exceptionally tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should also warn y'all, orcs and dwarves weren't always on best terms. I don't have anything against orcs. Dwarves, I've only maybe met 2 in my life.
Do you want me to glamour you? It's up to you.
No, I don't.
We don't have to.
Nah, I'd rather just try to go in and just be friendly. That typically.
I agree.
I've just warned y'all that there might be some not so friendly faces on seeing a half orc initially, but I think I can butter them up and we'll be good.
Well, should I go in maybe first, just so I can start a conversation?
You're all sort of standing in the town square, and people are like looking at you as you pass by. It's not inherently unfriendly, but there is sort of an air of curiosity as to what
Leon is like
here.
gently, hi, every time someone looks. Hi.
Maxilla is like hunching a little bit more, not like just like maybe just trying to look less intimidating.
Yeah.
Like no, like that. Like I mean, like short, but like just less intimidating. Just she does this in general, but I think more now. She's just like, ooh.
I mean, if you want to head into the tavern and try to talk to them, we can wait here, or we can all go in. It depends on how safe you feel. I don't know if I feel comfortable having you go in alone, but I also trust you. I could also keep a line of message communication open with you.
Grace kind of like looks around and starts to realize everyone looking, and she's like, well, if we don't hurry up and make a decision, they're gonna know we're here anyways.
I think they already do.
Yeah, let's just go together, I guess.
Okay.
All right,
so
you're gonna head for the tavern?
Yes.
Well, actually, no, we gotta talk to someone regardless. I was like, can we just like look at the map and try to figure shit out? Like,
I mean, you can look at the map if you want to.
Are there like it's gonna be in a mine, right? Are there miners? Like, is that something that we would like be able to?
Well, the tavern owner would know.
All dwarf kids running around, and we can talk.
Oh, let's not talk to children.
I'm sorry, I was just making a joke.
How about we ask the tavern owner if there are any mines that might hold a cornucopia? Might have something to do with Chauntea. Don't mention the cornucopia. I'm just gonna bat my eyelashes and look pretty.
This is a lot to remember. Wait, Maxilla, what was the name of the children's story? Did it have a name?
That's a good question.
Maybe they don't need to know those details. Just tell them we're looking for a mine,
or
maybe
cave, right?
associated with Chauntea.
All I know about is it was called the Cornucopia Chauntea, so it's pretty on the nose. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Ari?
I was just gonna say that I don't really think you're their type. I
never
don't.
got it.
I don't think elvish
No, I know.
beauty standards and
I know.
dwarvish beauty standards quite align.
It's the
That
beard.
that
Or lack
diagram is
thereof,
not a
right.
circle.
Well, every tavern owner I've met has been real helpful, real nice, so I think we're good.
Mm. How many have you met, Maxilla? And is
I-
it just Travis?
Yeah.
I mean, there's the one in town that was always pretty helpful and very valid, but yeah, Travis was the
Right.
one that I met.
I thought so.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Gris
Your
chuckles under.
sample size is quite small.
True. Gris chuckles under her breath and kind of like marches kind of proudly towards the tavern. Like she's excited to like be able to do this kind of part of the adventure. So I think she'll maybe head in first.
All right, so sorry.
I was gonna say, I presume for the first time in her life, Leon has to duck to get under a door.
Yeah,
Yes.
Maxilla too.
So the door is about 4 feet tall.
Oh, Leon's got a squat. Okay, we're popping a squat to get through that door.
Maxilla, I believe that you are 6'7".
I'm 6'8", thank you.
Maxilla at
Right.
6 foot 8 feet tall has to sort of crawl through the doorway.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Luckily,
this is so not flattering.
luckily the tavern itself, its ceiling is about 7 feet tall, so you can stand. It's not comfortable. Your head does kind of brush against some like dried herbs and stuff, but you're able to crawl through the door.
The hairproof poof of my brain. That's the top.
You're actually momentarily very grateful that Travis was unable to make it because he would not have comfortably fit in this bar.
Aw.
You all enter. Above the doorway that most of you have to either duck or crawl through is a sign with the name of the bar. It is written in Dwarvish. So Maxilla, you are able to translate the letters and then sort of read them off one by one to Gris, who is then able to translate the word into spoken common. Between the two of you, sort of telephoning it back and forth, you are able to determine that the name of this establishment roughly translates to
Oh no.
Here it comes.
the jelly-legged donkey.
Are you dead ass?
Gris kind of scratches her head and she's like, gosh, that's so familiar sounding. The jelly-legged donkey. Have you ever heard anyone say jelly-legged out loud? What a weird combination of words.
Well, that's how I always get when I see trips.
Gris kind of like blushes a little for Maxilla. She's like,
Leon looks at Ari.
Mhm. I go.
No, wait,
You
I'm
mean-
mad at him right now.
You might. Why are you mad at him?
He's got some stuff that's going on. I'm not actually mad at him. I'm just a little frustrated that he isn't telling me about things that he's worried about in his life. But that's neither here nor there. But
he kind of
just-
did something similar.
I
yes.
wonder. We neither Gris nor I would possibly know how that feels. And I look at Leon.
he's just so bad about asking for help, and
Oh.
we always are willing to help him. But
Mhm.
Gris is
Yeah,
like,
you know,
losing it.
I completely agree. That's the sentiment.
This is not a very comfortable bar. We should probably
Oh,
talk.
let me go say
we
hello.
are just
Great idea.
You guys are just like standing in the doorway. There is a dwarven bartender standing there, wiping a clean glass, looking at you. The counter is like 2.5 feet tall. He's standing behind it. He's got the glass in his hand. He's like looking between all of you, and finally his eyes meet Gris's.
Gris writes, honestly. Finally something Gris size.
Gris like happily walks up and like puts her hands on the bar and then decides she's gonna rest her elbow on the bar and then she just kind of pats it and like puts her hands there and she's like, "Hi, I'm Gris. How are you?"
Oh, I'm very good, don't you know?
I do now. So we are traveling through your capital, and we're kind of wondering if there were any mines in the area. And maybe
You're, okay, let me get this one straight, all right? So you are in the dwarven capital, and you're looking for a mine, just generally, just a mine, any old mine will do.
no. Specifically related to Chauntea. if possible.
Chauntea, here's the thing, okay? I can tell you about our hot dish specials. I can give you a little information about the place down the street. Timothy's. He makes these little bite-sized pastry things. They're called what does he call them?
Scones?
He calls them Timmy's Bits. Don't you know? I can tell you a little bit about that. I can tell you about our 647 local mines. Don't you know? And you can sort of go around and see each one and see which one you're looking for. I can tell you about our special meat of the day. I can tell you about
I
our
would like to know that. I pipe up from the doorway.
our
Not Timmy's bits.
dwarvish hockey league. Don't you know? But I can't. I don't know if I can really help you with the. Here's how about I get you a hot dish, some of our local mead, some milk, maybe for I don't know, for strength and vitality. And did you bring an orc into my establishment?
Oh, I thought you were
Not
going to ask
myself,
about
thank
my
you.
vulture. Yes, but half orc.
Oh, a half orc. Now y'all can't understand this conversation. This is going on in
Oh, right, yeah.
dwarven and halfling.
I can.
Yes, you can. Oh, okay. So, you want here? How about you? So half orc. She's not gonna smash up the place or take any of my
no.
stuff.
No.
A simple farmer, actually.
Oh, okay.
yes.
Farmer. Oh, that's interesting. How about you? You go over there. You find an open table. Okay, and I'll get you started with some good food then, eh?
That sounds good. Any chance there's like a local like miner guide or someone who's familiar with the mines that maybe we could meet?
Oh, we're all familiar with the mines around here, don't you know?
Oh, well, can we hire a guide? Is that a thing?
Oh,
Do
you
guide
could-
people?
You could hire me if you want to.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll go grab a table and look forward to your hot plates and
Hot
vitality
dish.
milk.
Hot
Oh, sorry.
dish.
Hot dish, and vitality milk.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sounds good. And he
And your biggest pint of meat.
shakes your hand across the table and he goes, You got it, elf. You said your name was what was your name again?
Gris?
Okay, Gris.
RV.
Ari. All right. You go find yourself a nice table. I'll get you some good food, some good grub, and I'll be right back, don't you know?
Okay. Gris kind of turns on her heel and like faces Leon and Maxilla, and she's like, "So, there are 647 mines,
Oh.
and
And
everyone's
no real way to narrow them down so far.
yeah. Apparently, none of them are specifically related to Chauntea.
Good.
But good news is everyone in the town knows the mines, so we
Awesome.
just can kind of ask everyone. And then the better news is we're gonna have some hot dishes, and vitality milk and meat. So we gotta go find a table.
What's vitality milk?
I
No,
don't know.
I don't want to know, actually. And Leon goes and sits at an empty table.
Mm.
Also, I don't know. Something was a little weird. Was there something weird? Can Gris roll and see if there was some weird? Can I do
Some weird Canadian energy.
Can I do a vibe check for those Timmy bits?
Yeah, but you can roll a
Hey.
vibe check for those Timmy
Yo.
bits.
And bits are so good.
Oh goodness.
Timmy's bits.
I got 10.
It seems to be some kind of local color he includes in all of his introductions to guests.
That's a weird out.
So you all sort of settle at the table. Maxilla, you do have to sit on the floor.
Sit on the floor. So Maxilla's gonna like sit on the floor and like if she can put as much of her leg underneath the table, just to like not be in the way. You know what I mean?
You're able to fully extend your legs the length of the table, and you can see the tips of your toes sticking out at the other end.
Leon
This
looks at
cozy.
Maxilla and says, I'm sorry, that looks not very comfortable. Can I grab the map from you?
All right.
I know.
And Maxilla pulls out the map.
Thank you. And Leon just takes it and
Chris
starts
Very
looking
thrown off
at
by
it.
that.
Gris kind of like leans over and looks down at Maxilla, and she's like, I know how you feel. Sometimes things are just too big, you know? I guess in your case it's kind of the opposite, but
Yeah, I don't even know if I should even order mead because I feel like that would just be like a shot of beer to me now. But we'll see.
So
I don't know.
you all are sort of sitting there, and the bartender reappears. Now, in his arms, he's got 3 large tankards of mead and 1 large tankard of what appears to be steamed milk, which he sets in front of Leon, and he goes, "Oh, I know a teetotaler when I see one, don't you know?"
a teetotaler. What does that mean?
Or she doesn't drink alcohol.
Oh, you're right, actually.
You can
And-
tell
and-
just by looking at her. She's real soft, hasn't been hardened by anything difficult. I'm gonna go grab those hot
Well-
dishes, and I have a couple Timmy bits in the back. I'll bring them out.
Okay,
Leon doesn't understand.
Gris kind of like
She's just
leans
looking at
over
the guy.
to Leon as he walks away, and she's like, he gives you the steamed milk because he can tell you don't drink alcohol.
Bit weird that he knew that.
Well, he has his
Mhm.
reasons.
What are the reasons?
That's no.
What was the reason?
Set the vibe.
You just have
I,
fun.
I'm sure it's just that he looked at you and knew that you had brittle bones.
Mm.
That's why he gives you milk. No other reason.
Bones aren't brittle.
Well, how do you know? Have you touched them? Have you eaten any recently?
Have I eaten any bones, Chris?
Yeah, I don't know.
No!
Might just be something you add to your list these days. I don't know.
Oh my god. Leon goes back to the map. I would actually like to try something.
Maxilla's missing her friends.
I don't think anything. Okay, so Leon has this weird feeling that she might have consumed Chauntea. Okay.
Okay.
And she also has a feeling that she might be in the relative proximity of the Cornucopia. But she doesn't know whether she has any capabilities. But also she's like, what if I just tried to like extend my
Roll for it.
energy?
We're gonna call this a DC 26, and it's gonna be an
What am I rolling?
Arcana check.
Okay. Oh, I doubt I'm gonna get 26. Oh, I'm literally gonna have to roll a 19 or a 20.
You know, if you were Maxilla, those would both be crits, in case you were wondering.
Oh, okay, barbarian, go off.
That's a fighter
just
thing.
fighter.
No!
Yeah.
What'd you
I
get?
rolled an 18.
I'm
So
so sorry.
25.
So you sort of close your eyes and feel out into the void, and the void is cold and snowy.
Okay. Leon kind of slams the
Void
map
does
down
not stare back.
and is like, I mean, maybe, okay, so hear me out on this. I can't talk to the bartender. Maybe you can show the bartender the map. And then maybe the bartender, if the bartender knows where all 647 mines are, the bartender will know which mine this is.
I mean, if anything, just get us in the right area. It does have
Right?
like a certain.
Maybe whittle down the 647 to, I don't know, 3.
Wait,
1,
so is there like
ideally.
a random marking that we think is where the right mind?
I am literally imagining an X on the freaking.
I'm like,
This is a crudely
marks the
drawn
spot.
treasure map, essentially. It does just have an X. It's sort of a generic mine, and you can tell that it is in relatively close proximity to the Dwarven capital.
okay. Gris kind of takes the map and she's like, I mean, I'll ask him, but
It's the only lead we have.
she kind of like pats the map for a second, like, yeah, I'll see what happens.
The bartender returns, and he's got just this like large casserole dish full of like steaming, it looks like hash something, in one hand. In the other hand, he's clutching a tankard of ale, and tucked underneath his elbow or his armpit, he's got like this brown kind of cardboardy box looking thing, which he sets the hot steaming casserole dish on the table. And then he
So it
sort
was
of
just one dish.
he takes the other box, sets it on the table, and then slams down his tankard, sitting down. And he looks at you, Gris, and he goes, "Okay, so you got an orc, 2 elves, halfling, Okay.
Also, vulture, baby vulture.
Well, I don't speak vulture, but you know what I do speak? Speak a little bit of Orcish. Hello.
Maxilla also is like, okay, pull up the Orcish. Hi. Or hello.
Glorious combat, don't you know?
Glorious combat, as they say.
Oh, okay. That's about the extent of my Orcish. Oh, I also know some Common. Do your friends speak Common?
Oh yeah, we all speak common.
Oh, perfect. Oh, hello, friends.
Oh, you speak common.
Oh, sure. Everybody around here speaks Common. We just pretend not to. Don't you know?
Okay. That's
Gris
good to
struggles.
know.
And
Okay.
then she kind of holds the map like from a corner awkwardly, and she's like, "We have this. I know you
Yeah.
said there were 647 mines, but maybe this means something to you." And she kind of just like drops it back down and like pushes it over with like a flourish.
He looks at the map really critically and he goes, "Oh, I know exactly what this is. But first, pleasure before business, eh? I know Miss Gris. My name is Travis. Nah, Tristan. Tristan.
God.
Travis was my father. My full name is Travis Tristan.
Travis Tristan.
Tristan, lovely to meet you. I'm the Lady Leon the Bell.
Oh, that's a title, don't you know? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you lady.
You could just call me Leon.
Lady. Okay, so we got lady.
Okay,
We got
lady.
Gris. We got Ari. We got the orc. Orc, what's her name?
My name's Maxilla. Pleasure to meet you.
Maxilla. Oh, that's a good strong orc name.
Yeah, my mama named me. And she's pretty strong orc.
Well, that's a good thing. I always I thought those orc ladies were real pretty, but a little scary. Now you got to tell me before you chop off one of my arms, okay? Okay. So here's the hot dish. It's got a lot of layers. You got some potato hash, some mushroom stew, a lot of cheese. You know. Sometimes people like to put in some tomatoes or something. I think that's a little too spicy for my taste. Then we got some sour cream on there, you know, just to kind of mellow out the flavor. And
The super robust flavors.
well, yeah, there's it's just a little bit. The mushrooms make it a little bit spicy.
Right.
And then you get some more cheese on the top, you know. And then over here we got the Timmy's bits. They're well, you get cinnamon sugar, some chocolate, some kind of glazed things. I think they're all quite good. You gotta let me know what you think. Timmy's my brother-in-law.
Oh, it's a family thing.
Oh yeah, don't
Love
you
that.
know? Yeah,
Well,
but the hot dish is a regional specialty. Everybody around here's got their own. Mine's the best though, don't you know?
Right, of course.
I didn't catch your last name. So you said your name was Travis Tristan. What's you got a full title there?
I was just about to
Travis,
ask.
sorry. My name is thank you for asking. My name is Travis Tristan Mileson.
Miles, did you say?
Yeah. Yes, that was my grandfather's name, don't you know?
All right. Well, it's a fine name.
Oh, thank you, don't you know? Okay, so you're looking for a mine here, aren't you?
Yes, the one on this map, if you could tell us where it is.
Well, first thing I'm gonna say is that you should maybe fire your cartographer. This here ain't that too good of a map, don't you know?
Trust me, if I was hiring a
That's what I
cartographer, they'd be making a
said.
much nicer product.
Apparently,
Okay.
cartography is very hard.
Not when you're paid enough.
Oh, I don't know about that. I get paid just bits and pieces of pennies around here, and I still make a pretty damn good hot dish.
It does look like a very good
Very
dish.
true.
And Gris is gonna like kind of, I guess, are there bowls, plates? She's gonna dig in because
There are
it's fucking Gris.
some plates on the table, yeah.
Okay. She's
Yeah,
gonna take a big old piling heap of this hot dish.
Leon grabs one of each flavor of Timbit. Sorry, Timmy Bits.
Yeah, we
Maxilla?
don't want to be facing any kind of legal trouble here.
I meant Timmy Bits. One of each flavor. Definitely not honey crawlers.
Mhm.
Do you need some iced
I'm also gonna take a
An
dollop of
ice.
just the like every layer,
Some-
and the mead, and just like start just vibing.
Maxilla
Oh.
takes. Oh, go
Go
ahead.
for it, Maxilla, go.
Maxilla takes a pretty big portion and like kind of takes a fork and dives into it and kind of like, well, she takes a bite and she kind of starts tearing up because they've been rationing food for like the last
Oh
month,
yeah,
and so she's like, this is,
that's some good shit.
it's real good. Wow, this real feeling. It's the best thing I've had in months, actually.
Oh, well, is nobody feeding you real good wherever you're from, pretty orc lady?
Well, we usually are, but we're having some grain trouble and we're having some crop trouble, so we haven't
Oh.
been able to be good.
So
That's
it
why we're
sounds
here.
like you're looking for a man who can cook, aren't you?
It's not that I'm not eating good when I
She's
have
already
the
got a man who
food.
can cook, unfortunately for you. I know.
Oh.
Heartbreaking. I know. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
Well, is he any good with a pickaxe? That's the real measure of a man. If he can brain a man with
Like
one
8
swing.
feet tall.
Oh,
I feel like he could do it with his bare hand, probably.
He
Yeah.
could
Oh,
probably do
he's-
it with his bare fist.
And he's
Yeah.
pretty damn good
I know,
at the act
again,
itself.
sorry to be the bearer of bad news on this one. I really don't like, I feel bad, but yeah, no. She's
So
good.
you come into my diner, you eat my hot dish.
I mean, we're
and,
gonna pay you,
uh,
obviously.
You crush a man's dream. I see
Yeah,
how
my
it
bad.
is. Okay.
I can pay you extra for that if you'd like.
Okay, yeah, my crushed dreams fee is 6 extra gold. Okay, so
Leon hands him 10 gold.
Chris kind of like is rifling through her bag while he says all of this, and she like halfway pulls out one of B's letters, as if she's gonna be like, "Well, this is our single friend," and then she kind of like hears the 6 gold thing, and she kind of like pushes it back down and thinks better of it.
Hmm.
Leon just gently slides him 10 gold and is like, "Do you know where the mine is?"
oh sure, I'd be happy to take you there. Here's the thing though, that mine, it's a little unstable. It's kind of the only mine we haven't used in about a couple hundred years, don't you know? So I can't guarantee your safety there. And I can't. I'm not gonna go in with you. But here's the thing, okay? So I'll take you,
Okay.
and then I'll wait outside. So you got weapons and stuff too, cause
Yes.
Yeah, plenty.
the mines tend to be a little dicey. They get some nasty creepy crawlies and stuff in there. So okay. So you paid me for the food plus the heartbreak.
Yep.
All right. Let me go grab my axe there then, and I'll take you to the mines. And he sort of like stands up and walks away.
It's like, I did it. I convinced him. And she's like, yay!
He just shattered that poor man's soul.
Oh.
I was gonna show him a picture of B, but then I kind of was like, I don't know if B will like that. But then
Yeah,
I
we
was
don't need
thinking
him zooming in
that
on
B does love food, and I mean, this hot dish is food,
Mhm.
and it's pretty
These tummy
comforting.
sticks, they're good.
Yeah, I mean, the
I'll
hot
admit.
dish
Mhm.
is kind of like a warm hug.
Mm-hmm.
He seemed
Mhm.
like a swell fella, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Not
I
your
mean,
type.
Maybe not.
no,
B's
I
type.
mean, I don't even know what my type is, but he seemed nice enough. But I just am not good at letting people down.
It's okay, I am.
Another Travis got there first.
No, Travis got there first.
How funny that this is called the Jelly Leg Donkey, and we have Travis Tristan as the barkeep.
Yeah, that's just a coincidence, Chris.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
We should probably meet him
Gris,
outside, maybe?
Roll insight.
Yeah, can Maxilla also roll
Roll
insight?
insight. Maxilla, you get to roll insight with advantage on this one.
Yeah, cool.
I just go thinking, I mean, the Knock-Kneed-Ass does pretty well. So as a business model, being named Travis and having that as an in name seems to work out well. So I'm just like, why wouldn't you also
Maxilla rolled a
be in the
19.
same?
I got 12.
Maxilla, it's suspicious.
Okay, cool.
This is a little suspicious to you. Not suspicious enough to maybe raise all of your alarms, but something within you makes you want to reach for the hammer on your back a little bit.
Okay.
Oh no.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah.
Maybe huddle it a little bit.
Leon huddles in.
This is definitely more than a coincidence, right? Like, this seems a little too
Do you think?
close. I'm getting a weird vibe, and usually I am pretty. Usually I don't get bad vibes. Usually I'm willing to just accept things,
I
but
get bad vibes a
this
lot.
is getting a little weird.
Do you think Travis maybe opened a second location?
No, I don't think
no.
that's it. Can I use my divine sense?
What are you sensing for?
Good or evil? Any good, any evil? Is there good or evil vibing in 60 feet of me?
Go ahead and roll for it. What is the modifier you use there?
There is no modifier. I just get to do it.
Roll for it.
Okay.
I'm also wondering if maybe we should get help somewhere else. I think this seems a little too.
That was
friendly.
a 13.
So it was a DC 15. This place, it feels very neutral to you, at least as far as you can tell. I also rolled a dice. I got a 15.
Okay. I'm not feeling any particular evil, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Just means there isn't an undead creature.
Do you want me to maybe be a bee
I mean,
and go see if I can find anything? Or listen in while he goes and gets his hammer?
I mean,
Or
something.
fly? Or
Just ask some questions on our walk.
Yeah.
you
I
want
can
to
do that.
Maybe would just be cautious, and I don't know if we can trust everything he's saying because I had to recently deal with the doppelganger, and I'm a little nervous about things being a little too
A
close.
what?
It's something. Okay, so I had to fight something of mine recently. I've been doing a lot of mind stuff, and I had to fight a Clay Travis, which was a whole thing to unpack. But
God, okay.
Oh,
and so I'm just a little nervous about anything that is too similar to things that are
Right.
close to me or close to things that we are familiar with.
Okay.
So
Well, I'll ask him some questions on our
How
walk
would
over to the
anyone in a
mine, and then
dwarven capital know about Travis and the Knock-Kneed-Ass, though?
I think that's
no,
what
I'm,
Maxilla's
that's what I'm
worried about.
saying. I know
Oh.
everybody Travis knows at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Travis
Well,
needs to
let's-
get out
Yeah,
more.
this does seem a little. This does seem a little outside his usual haunts.
Yeah.
Well, is it?
Let's just keep our wits about us. I'll ask some questions. I mean, ultimately, we need to get to the mine regardless.
I know. I wonder. I'm thinking maybe we
He
could
did
ask
say
somebody
everyone
else.
sort of knew.
We've already
He
agreed to
did
let
say
him.
everyone here knows about the mines,
Okay,
so
I
maybe
got
someone
my,
else can also
uh,
take us there.
I got my ex and oh, are you talking about something?
No, we were just wondering about how long it would take to get to the mine.
Oh, maybe 20 minutes. It's real close.
I mean, you don't even necessarily have to leave. You could just point us in the right direction,
Oh,
maybe
no,
draw what it looks like.
I'll walk you there, lady.
Who's watching your bar while?
Yeah,
you're
that's what I'm
gone?
concerned about.
Oh, the kid.
We don't want it leaving unattended.
There's a
The
kid.
kid?
Yeah. Behind the bar is like this dwarven, probably teenager. He's got a long beard too. Not as long as Tristan's. He's got a longboard
Oh God.
strapped to his back, and he kind of gives you a little wave, and he goes, "Oh, hi there. I'm Tanner. Tanner, you need to be quiet there. I'm talking to the customers. He's too friendly. He's always trying to share everything about himself with everybody."
Oh, so just a
Wow.
quick question: how long have you run this bar, and maybe where did you get the name from? Out of
Oh,
curiosity.
well, I came upon this bar after the old owner died. He
Oh,
Leon is just watching Maxilla.
Maxilla is panicking eyes. She's like, her eyebrows
Leon
are like
messages
totally
Maxilla.
in her fucking eye, like hairline.
Upon
at
seeing this,
point.
she messages Maxilla. Is it more? Is there more coincidences that, like, obviously the kid is Tyler?
This is literally Travis's backstory.
Okay.
This
Gonna
is
be
not-
honest, kind of freaking out.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right. Mm-hmm.
it's a bit weird.
Weird.
Okay. Well, I don't think we have a choice. He's definitely going to be coming with us. He's not coming into the mine with us, which is good. Positives.
I don't know if I trust him. Well, we're still messaging. Okay.
Yeah, we are.
I don't know
It's
if I
good.
trust him outside of the mine if it's an unstable mine.
Okay. Maybe
But-
I will try to coerce him to coming back to the bar once we get there.
Mm.
I can be very persuasive.
Okay. That's something.
I'll do the best. Or we could kill him. I'm not saying that's the first
Well,
option.
let's
I'm
not
just
be
saying it's
hasty.
an option.
Let's-
I'm just saying it's an option. Maybe not option number one, but like on
Surprised
the
you didn't
table.
say we should set him on fire.
Just bear in mind that, we're here for whatever you need.
Poor
Okay, we
Travis Tristan Mileson. Y'all are really very sus of this man.
Well, yeah, Jenny. I'm very sus of this man.
Why? Nothing about him's that suspicious. Okay. So, you ready to go, or you need some more time?
No, we should go. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's get headed out then. And he sort of like brushes off his legs and moves towards the door.
Okay.
Chris stands up slowly and just kind of like looks at Leon and looks at Maxilla and looks at Ari.
Looks between them, yeah.
Maxilla is extremely on edge. Like, literally, I think she is looking at, like, all of the patrons, or, like, maybe even, like, looking at the tavern itself of, like, is the building similar?
Roll a perception check.
Yeah. I'm asking for a perception check here. Oh, ba, ba, ba. Okay. 11.
So the thing that really catches your eye is that hung on one of the walls is a banner that you are able to kind of, if you want to, you could read the letters to Gris real quiet, and she could tell you what it says.
Okay, yeah, just really quickly as we're, like, passing, like, hey, Gris, what does that say?
It says, "Happy birthday, Maricela."
I would like Leon to also roll perception, kind of freaked out that things are so similar, and see if there's anyone that even looks remotely like a pretty dwarf that does magic. She's stressing. She's anxious. She's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, this is so wrong.
Roll a perception check, Leon.
I'm doing it. Please be good. Oh, 18 plus 1, 19.
You don't see any
I want
like
to know.
pretty dwarves who do magic, but you do see this guy seated at the bar who grins at Tristan, shoots him a little finger guns with one hand, and kind of raises a glass to him. They appear to be pretty good buddies. This guy's got, you see on one arm like a large tattoo of a wolf.
God. Leon looks and just beelines out the door. She's like, no. This is horrifying.
Ariadne, did you want to roll for something?
I just want to know what vibes I get from him, from like for the bar. I'm just like, that's a lot happening, but like, I don't know. Does he seem?
Yeah, go for it. This will be insight, probably.
I was gonna say, would you rather it be insight? 12.
I mean, he seems kind of stoked to take y'all to the mines. It seems like it's some easy money for him.
Just as they
Cool.
get out the door, Leon whispers to Maxilla,
Can you repeat that? We can't hear
Yeah,
you.
that was quiet.
too.
Yeah. They had a happy birthday sign that was exactly similar to the one that Travis had for me.
God.
For my
Okay. I
That
hate
was-
this. I actually
I-
hate this.
same page.
Yeah,
Same.
I hate everything about this. Okay. Well,
Uh,
maybe we get the cornucopia, we get out. And then, like, never think about it again.
this feels very trappy to me.
I know.
Is this all still going on via message?
Yeah, I guess.
We can't help. We don't hear anything. You're not telling us
Things
things are wrong.
Ari and I are like kicking dirt outside the place.
Yeah.
Tristan Gris is regaling you with a tale of.
We're like, we know it's weird, but you haven't told us to panic.
Yeah. Leon,
We should go.
maybe you use a
I'll-
fancy message.
Yeah.
Or in
You mean the thing
Grisno.
we're doing right now?
Yeah.
I'll give him a heads up. You talk to Travis Tristan or whatever.
Listen,
Maybe
he's
don't put
taking-
your hands on your head like that. It's a bit obvious.
It's taking everything in my being not
I
to do
know.
that constantly.
I know. And you're doing so well. This is a lot. It's a lot of messaging.
lot.
Okay, I'm going to message the others.
Okay.
And you should talk to Tristan Travis, whatever his name is.
Okay.
The dwarf version of Travis.
Mhm.
Leon sends a quick message to Ari and Gris, and is like, there was a Marius one in there too. So like, I'm a bit concerned.
Yeah, and Marcella, happy birthday,
we're
Marcella.
Yeah, there's a
And we're
lot.
still letting this man lead us somewhere remote.
I'm gonna try and
and
convince him to leave.
How?
I can be very persuasive.
Is there like another dwarf we can flag down on the like?
There's like
this
a lot of
side
dwarves
dwarf?
milling about. You can kind of like some of
Yeah.
them kind of like nod to Tristan. Like you
We
know,
should just go. We're already walking. I feel like it would be really
Well, yeah, but
offensive
we
if
don't
told-
know-
as a Canadian.
like to
I know
see-
another Canadian would be pretty upset if they agreed to take you somewhere and then you were like, actually, I'd rather this random took me there.
Is there an apothecary shop across from the
Okay, I have a question.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a sign. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Yeah, can I roll another perception check as well to see if the square looks like the same square in Ayla's?
Go for it.
So in the
come on.
meantime, can Gris cast summon Spiderkin?
Oh, fuck me.
So basically, with the spider, it's a familiar. So if they're within 100 feet, they can communicate telepathically. So her goal is to like summon this spider and have it like ride on Tristan. That way, she can like make sure things are okay while they're in the mines.
Roll an Arcana check.
That was a 1 for me, by the way, so I perceive nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maxilla rolled a 7.
This
Good, we're
looks
really
very
perceiving.
different. It doesn't look at
Okay.
all like the town. It seems like maybe the tavern's the only similarity.
My
Okay.
Arcana check was 9.
So you summon your little spider friend, and before it can even leave your palm to go crawl onto Tristan,
No.
your good buddy Twig chomps down on it and swallows it.
Told you the
Kinda
bird
like
wasn't good for anything.
Glares at Twig, and she's
I told
like,
you the bird was
Mama,
bad.
she's gonna cast Beast Bond real quick and like say, why did you do that? What is wrong with you?
Mama only need one familiar. Mama only needs one familiar.
Okay, well then what do you think about Travis Tristan?
Don't
You-
like
yeah,
bad man.
Don't like? Bad man.
Smell like evil.
What kind of evil? Like not like dwarf?
Smell pretty lady evil.
Oh. Gris kind of like she
About me?
she pats Twig on the head and she kind of like aggressively elbows like Leon's thigh. I guess.
Leon cast message. What?
So I just talked to Twig.
Okay.
Twig firmly believes that Travis Tristan is evil.
How
And
would
you're
the
not
bird
gonna,
know?
well, animals have good instincts, but also you're not gonna like this.
Okay.
Apparently, he smells like evil. And he said, smells like pretty lady evil.
Thinks I'm pretty.
He also thinks you're evil, evidently, but that's fine. Yeah, you're pretty.
I don't trust the bird. Whatever. Okay, fine. That doesn't make me like the bird more, Gris.
I just been telling you
Gris,
information.
roll an insight check.
Oh, okay.
Or actually animal handling.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's the same for me.
Mhm.
Ooh, 18 plus 3, 21.
You realize that maybe what Twig meant in his very broken despawned comment was that the evil smells also a little bit like Leon. Not necessarily that Leon smelled evil.
Oh, okay. Gris is like, wait. Well, maybe it's not that you smell evil, but maybe it smells like you? Wait. Remember when you took the vials because you kind of thought that the traveling person was your dad?
Mm-hmm.
Could that be a similar vibe here?
When was the last time Leon heard from her dad?
It's been a couple months.
Leon cuts off the message communication
Gris is like, oh shit.
and tries to open up another one, I guess. And just shouts into the ether. Hey, Dad. You here?
Oh God.
Oh, now that's not what I told you my name was.
I fucking knew it.
It sounds like maybe you need some help, Leon. It sounds like maybe your friends here could use some help. Sure would be a shame if they starved to death just because you don't like your dear old dad, don't you know? We will be back next week with
Shit!
part 2 of Cornucopia here on the Tabletop Tavern. Be sure to catch up on Spotify, YouTube, follow us on Twitter, join our Discord if you haven't, and just, until we see you again, be good to each other, don't you know?
Eat some hot dish.
Eat some hot dish. Also,
Bye,
I'd like to point out,
everyone.
hot dish is Minnesota, not Canada. Okay, bye.
The Timmy bits.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here with us, Alan.
Bye,
We'll see you
everyone.
next week.